ClarkWoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 243. I'm Chris.
I'm the Sprint guy, formerly the Verizon guy. And I'm here to say that, this corporation is much better than this other corporation that's both trying to steal your money.
How exactly are they trying to steal my money, Mr. Wait, are you Sprint guy or Verizon guy?
I'm both guy.
You're both guy. Okay.
Actually, I'm Steve.
All right. Oh, you're Steve. Steve. That I do remember that being his name. No.
Was it his name?
Actually, I don't think it was. No, Steve was from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, apparently that's the only other Steve in the world. Except for when you're talking to someone who's gay and saying that it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Do you know
what?
I don't know the particulars of this. So
if I was gay, I would actually kind of like try to find someone named Adam.
You would?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair. Are you serious?
I don't know. That would be kind of funny. It would be funny, but like I don't know, like.
I mean, you'd have to do it at least once.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, just so people could say that to us.
I wonder if that is in the in the LGBTQ bylaws. Like if
your name's Steve or Adam, and you are you are gay, you have to date one or the other at least once.
Yeah, you have to date somebody named Adam or Steve. Okay. You can't. I mean, if you're Steve, you could date another Steve. There's nothing.
It's not Steve and Steve.
Yeah,
it's Adam and Steve.
Speaking of, you mentioned corporations off the top, and
you just love the Disney Corporation.
No, that wasn't. Well, yes,
Disney Disney / Fox / Marvel / Star Wars / we own everything. Give us all your money, Chris.
That wasn't where I was going.
All right,
but that's not inaccurate. They do take a lot of my money.
Well, I mean, they took some of ours. We did see Spidey Man last week.
Oh, well, should we talk about that at some point, or?
It was a good follow-up to... Yeah. I'm just going to say it was a good follow-up to the end game.
Yeah, I would agree. But did you stay for the credits?
Yes, of course
I don't want to... I'm not going to spoil anything, but I both loved and hated the credits. Was it the mid... the mid credits one, which I loved it.
The what the fuck moment, or the
middle was in New York, and was
no, but it ends with Peter saying "what the fuck."
Oh, does he say? Okay.
Well, he doesn't. Well, he says "what the," and then
cuts off.
They cut.
Yes. The person that they happened to. The person that they happened to cast in a pivotal role in that scene made me quite giddy.
Yeah, I mean, I was psyched to see him again in that role.
Yeah. Won't go any further than that.
In a very Alex Jones fucking
yes, that was what was. Yeah, it was. Yes, and for. Can't spoil anything for a movie that at least in the trailers we saw was going to talk about the quote unquote multiverse. Not going to say anything more than that. It was a neat idea to think that a character that had appeared in a previous Spider-Man series and an actor who had played that character could play that same character in two different Spider-Man franchises, and that it would just be that slightly different because that's how multiverses work.
He was in like the Amazing Spider. I didn't see those.
He was not. No. He was in the. People like I hope they've either seen it or they've found that 30-second skip. Skip 30 seconds. J.K. Simmons was in.
J.K. Simmons. Okay.
J.K. Simmons was in the first set of Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mysterio.
No. Oh. Yeah, no. That J.K. Simmons was playing two different versions of J. Jonah Jameson. I thought that was neat.
I think I do think they're setting up for a Sinister Six.
They've been trying to for a while. I mean, that was their plan before. If you go back and I didn't. It was their plan, and it was obvious that that was their plan even before the Sony hack that released all of their plans. And I think the Sony hack confirmed that they were trying to put a Sinister Six movie together. I don't see why they wouldn't be trying to do that.
Because like that was like aside from Venom,
Yeah.
which they've decided is something that's completely different and not related to Spider-Man anymore, was I think the Sinister Six were like the big deal in the Spider-Man comics.
Yeah. I mean, putting them all together.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you can only do, I feel like you can only do the Green Goblin so many times, and they tried in both. They did it very successly, I think, in the first one. I think
the Raimi version.
I think Willem Dafoe is great in that role.
Maybe they'll bring him back.
Hey, you never know. At any rate, no, I wasn't going to talk about the Disney Corporation. I was going to talk about a different corporation, a different corporate overlord that is celebrating a corporate-sponsored holiday tomorrow, and is the Amazon Corporation.
Oh,
it is Prime Day tomorrow, or today if you're listening to this on the day that it comes out. And I wondered if you had a feeling about Prime Day or Amazon in general. There is something I'm very much planning to buy if it goes on sale. Probably even if it doesn't go on sale.
so how big is this dildo?
Do they sell dildos?
I think so. I think they had one that looked like
They look like Adam.
No, it looked like the
Had a fig leaf on it.
Jon Snow's sword.
Oh, okay.
What was it? What was his sword called?
His sword was called Dragon Killer.
No.
Oh, it was called.
It was Mormon's sword.
Aunt Killer. No. What was it called? It was. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you do look it up. It had a thing on it that looked like it might be a. It could have either been a bear or a wolf, right?
Well, it was a bear, and they turned it into a wolf because
they
Mormon had it, or like the guy who was the head of the Night's Watch had it, and he gave it to John.
It wasn't just like a poorly crafted bear, and they're like, "Hey, it could be either." You know,
No,
you can say it's a wolf if you want. For some reason, that's my memory. Is like, you know what? Whoever made this, like, they were trying to make a bear, but it didn't turn out so well. So you go ahead and call it a wolf. And
Long Claw.
Long Claw. Why the long claws?
Well, I think the joke that was made, it might have been by Dave, that it should have been Long Dong or Dong. No, sorry, Dongclaw.
Dongclaw. Oh, that's a really good. So if the long claw shaped dildo.
Dongclaw.
If Dongclaw, did you recall? Was it the butt end of the sword or the pointy end of the sword that went into the?
You go ass to ass, Chris. It's both ends.
Oh, I got it. Okay, so it's like a Darth Maul situation.
Yeah. Or like
Did they make a dildo of that back in the day? I wonder.
Yeah, did they ever do like a strap on that a lady could put on that also goes inside her?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think so.
I think that would make it a little bit better for them if they were like,
or if it's not penetrating the person who's wearing it. I think it might be. There are ones certainly that are designed to stimulate the
area.
The area, yes.
All right.
I think that is.
In case there are a couple of ladies enjoying each other's company, or a lady and a fella that wants a little different action,
absolutely
fun for everybody.
Fun for everyone at the Amazon Corporation. Yeah.
So you're gonna buy that tomorrow.
That is what. Yeah, I've been holding.
So you're not
off.
gonna do the you're not gonna boycott and.
Well, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. Is in general, I mean, I don't love the company or its practices, but
you do love Disney.
I don't love their practices either, but they produce the entertainment that I enjoy. Amazon doesn't really produce anything except
they produce entertainment.
I guess.
You haven't watched Good Omens?
No, I haven't. Oh, that's a good point. That one I've heard is good.
And I haven't watched it, but I think The Tick has gotten some good.
Yeah, I watched.
So they do produce entertainment, Chris, and it is good.
Okay. Well, so I don't know. You just want me to hate Disney.
No, I don't want you to hate Disney, but I don't want you to be a hypocrite.
I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I'm saying I'm not going to boycott Amazon. Amazon has stuff
I don't
at prices that me, an underpaid educator, can afford.
Yeah, but like,
and I get that like, I get it. I think I get it. But you know what? If our society doesn't want to pay me what I'm worth, then I have to buy things
or get a new job.
Oh, we're not going there.
Okay.
We went there once before, and I got really nervous releasing that episode because I really need my job.
They're not going to fire you because you could possibly think that having another job is a thing that happens in people's lives.
Yeah. Well,
like maybe if they valued you, they'd make you a tenured professor.
Well, I'm not. That's probably not even on anyone's radar. More likely scenario would be my office job would give me a raise or a promotion, but that is also not likely on anyone's radar. I should say this week I heard, and I don't know. I do know why this news pisses me off as much as it does, but
is it about Amazon.com?
It's not about Amazon.com.
Prime Day?
I'm gonna get horribly off topic for a second here.
Prime Day tomorrow and Tuesday, isn't it?
It might be. So it's Prime today.
Yeah.
It's 2-day Prime.
What is today?
I don't know.
No, it's the 15th and the 16th. So if you want to support a giant corporation, not the workers of that corporation, please buy shitloads of stuff tomorrow. But if you want to support the strike that the workers that work for that corporation are trying to impart.
I did not know they were trying to.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of person that
okay,
that will buy things on Amazon, but I don't have to.
Got it. Let me ask you this.
And maybe on those days, I will look at other places if I need to buy something tomorrow or Tuesday. I will look in other places for those exact specific things that I need to buy.
Okay. So let me tell you I don't want to forget about the.
Okay, don't.
What the hell was? I've already lost it. All right, so we're I was going to get horribly off topic.
Please get horribly off topic.
Okay, I remember it, but let me ask a follow up on the Amazon thing.
Right.
So, the thing that I want to buy is a.
I thought we already talked about that. Dongclaw.
Okay, so I do want to buy Dongclaw, but I can't make that the episode title.
I do want to buy Dongclaw.
I do want to buy Dongclaw, but yeah, no. So people who know who follow me on Instagram or patrons of mine or whatever know that I've been doing a lot of visual art of late. And so I do touch-ups in Photoshop here and there. And I had previously thought that this thing that I was thinking of was like way outside of any price I would be willing to pay. But there are two versions of the Wacom tablet that allows you to sort of, as a pressure-sensitive pen, hooks up with Photoshop or whatever to let you do edits with a stylus. So
does that make the Uncanny Valley a little less uncanny?
I don't know. That's a whole other thing that I'm dealing with amongst my many things that I'm anxious and stressed out about. So thank you for bringing that up. No, so there is one that they released within the last couple of years, although some of the reviews suggest it might not be getting made anymore. There's one for like $50 and there's one for $100. So I don't imagine, although I haven't looked, maybe you can buy it directly from the Wacom Corporation. But if you're not going to buy something like that from Amazon, do you go to Best Buy? Is Best Buy any better?
I have a gift card for Best Buy. You want it?
I don't know.
I tried to buy a gift card with it. They wouldn't let me buy like a Nintendo
Oh,
gift
right. Yeah,
card
no, they
with
won't.
my gift card. I was like, well, fuck you then, buddy.
I had somebody gave me a Walmart gift card for Christmas a couple of years ago, and I wanted to use it to buy an iTunes gift card, and you can't buy a gift card with a gift card.
I have though. I have at GameStop.
Interesting. Well, GameStop is see. People talk about GameStop being super shady, so
I mean, they. I mean, we'd have to have somebody that actually worked there on here to really dig in.
Well, more not necessarily super shady to see, and this brings up the question. So I don't know that GameStop is super shady towards their workers, but GameStop is super shady in terms of people who make games, right? Because their whole, like, a lot of their business is on reselling, right? And none of the money from the resale goes to the. And I don't know that I mean, I get it.
GameStop.
I write books, and books have a tremendous sort of resale. Like books have always been, you get used books.
Well,
that's just a thing.
The big companies, the rock stars, the Square Enix, the fucking Capcoms, etc., Konami, they're gonna come out with a big blockbuster game every fucking year, and it's gonna sell like gangbusters when it first comes out, because like the influencers on Instagram and on YouTube and whatever are going to get promo versions of it, and they're going to fucking do some shit on it, and it's about ethics and gaming journalism. But
all right. Okay.
No, but like that was a joke. It's just, like those are the companies that are suffering from GameStop, like selling games.
Not independent developers. You don't think that they're...
Yeah, the independent developers, the indie games typically are like download only.
Okay.
So it's not like you can resell that. And they're not producing. Well, there's like, I think a company that's making in like limited runs of of games that, and I think it's actually Limited Run Games, I think is the company.
Okay.
They're making limited runs of games that were digital only, and people wanted a physical copy of it, and so they very limited runs. So like the people that really want a physical copy can have it.
Right.
And they're also, but most of like indie games I think are going through, like digital only sales, and so therefore they're making most of their money directly. And when they do go on sale, they still like their ones and zeros is going on sale, not like a piece of plastic,
right. That's a good point.
or a disc.
All right,
so the people that are suffering the most from that are the big companies that don't actually suffer that much,
right? And that don't pay their own workers all that well. Not that. I mean,
how would you know anything like that?
I wouldn't.
I mean, video game companies. I mean, they would probably like pay their executives pretty well, but
but
the people doing the lion's share of the work to make the games, I don't think they would pay them very well.
Yeah, probably not. It is interesting how that works across our entire society.
That's why tomorrow and Tuesday, or today and Tuesday, whatever your perspective is, or a couple of days ago and you already didn't do something.
You already did. You're a good person.
If you can not support and actually support the strike, not support Amazon and support the strike, maybe Jeff Bezos will be like, hey, maybe I'll be less shitty to my employees, because I, despite losing half of my money to my ex-wife, am still one of the richest dudes ever.
Speaking of, oh gosh, I don't think this can get me in trouble.
It probably could, but let's do it.
Whatever.
Roll them bones, Chris.
So I heard through the grapevine at my...
Not much longer that you're going to be mine.
I would miss this if I was dead. That's one of the reasons I stay alive. Is
cool.
I'm
I'm glad I'm one of the reasons that you don't die.
I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm tired. I've been up since 3:00.
I almost got up at 4:30, but then I fell back asleep. And then Becky actually got up before me. This is a very rare occurrence on the weekend. Usually I'm up first. And I stayed in bed till almost 9 o'clock.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I was up at 3 and I was staring at the wall and
you know what
not
they say,
quite having a panic attack, but
they say that staring at the wall in the bedroom. They say if you wake up, you should get up and then like maybe just do something like read instead of it's so you can occupy your brain into something that isn't the inside of your brain.
Yeah, no. So that's what I did. I got up and I ticked off a couple of things that I was.
No, not work, Chris. Do something fun like read, so you can take your mind off the things that are keeping you awake.
The things that were keeping me awake were things that were going to stress me out later today, so I took care of them.
All right.
So that I can when I'm done with this, I can go home and take a nap, and I can watch the end of Stranger Things with my wife tonight instead of.
Oh, you want to talk about Stranger Things?
I do not want to talk about Stranger Things. I would love to talk about the fact that I can't even go on fucking YouTube and like not even be searching for Stranger Things because I love algorithms and they'll people.
You mean the giant Google corporation that owns YouTube for some or no reason?
I just people try to hide their hide the spoilers in their clickbait fucking titles, and they do it so poorly. They do such a shitty fucking job. They'll have you seen Stranger Things or you care?
No, I've seen the whole thing.
Okay, all right.
We watched it when we got back from 4th of July festivities.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, so Stephanie and I wanted to watch it together, which means we've got 2 episodes left.
Let me tell you what happens in those episodes.
But I, of course, I'm online for my job a lot of the time, and
looking at Stranger Things 3 spoilers, obviously.
No, I'm on.
It's for my job. I have to. Okay. You can continue.
I'm on YouTube for one reason or another, and I'm scrolling through, and I see I don't know if it was like in memoriam or memory of or what, and it had photos of 2 people I presume die in the next 2 hours, and I was like, really?
Well, the final episode's a little bit longer, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. So the next 2 episodes, not next 2 hours. I just ugh. Anyway. Which is why I walked into Spider-Man Far From Home relatively not spoiler-free, but more than spoiler-free. I didn't really have any expectations, and because I stopped looking at Reddit, at all of the places where I used to go to get kind of comic book movie rumors and shit like that, because they were just getting to the point where, like, I don't know. Anyway.
It's about the journey, Chris, not the destination.
I agree.
So don't worry about spoilers.
Okay.
Because if you know something, it's like, oh, I know that now.
You're repeating back my own philosophy to me. Yes, I know. It is about the journey, not about the destination. And I've always believed that. I just I'm very good at finding things to piss me off lately.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
what else, Chris?
So the thing that I was going to talk about.
It's therapy time. Well, like this whole show is therapy time with Chris.
Do you have a subject? We didn't write anything down. If you want to, you be my guest. Let's let Steve lead. Go ahead, Steve. What do you got?
So on the 4th of July, we went up to Lake Winnipesaukee, and I stared at a lake for a couple of days.
Was it fun? Did you drink at all? And if you drank, was the experience of staring at the lake any different?
No, what most of the time when I was staring at the lake, it was early and I was drinking tea. So when it was quiet before people were up, that was when.
That sounds very nice.
But it was cool, like, it's cool to be able to escape from the ruckus of people around.
Yeah.
Where it's weird, I've realized how I am an extrovert. I do thrive on the company of others, but I have this introvert in me that just like fuck everyone. I don't want to see a single person. And it's probably because when I was growing up, I spent a lot of time alone.
Have you heard of the term ambivert?
Is that what I am?
It's one of those things I heard and I was like, it didn't bother me as much as, what the fuck is the, Zennial? That one bothers me.
Is that the in between?
That's what we supposedly are, according to somebody's fucking.
No, because we're not Gen Z. We're Gen X.
With an X.
Fuck you.
Like Gen X, millennials smushed together. Zennial.
No, we're Gen X. Fuck you. Like, stop trying to make a new generation after like fucking way too long time has passed.
Yeah, no, they're not trying to make a new one. They're
me love you. Long time has passed.
We love you. We love you, Dongclaw.
No, don't even type.
We love you. Long time has passed. Fuck. All right. So
what did I just said something?
No.
Something racist-y?
No.
What? Did your brain shut off?
Yeah. Yes. At like 4 this morning when I was.
What was your therapy going on?
Like real therapy.
No. The thing that you were gonna talk about prior to
real therapy is a fun thing too.
All right, we could talk about that too.
No, but the thing I was going to talk about, because we're on this sort of corporation and treating your workers. Okay, that was the angle. Your most recent angle that made me think of it. Okay, so I heard through the grapevine.
I'm not going to say it again.
Okay, you're not going to sidetrack me again. Okay, I heard through the grapevine because we had a new employee on my floor, and this new employee requested a Mac because the college, until this point, has said you can get either a Mac or a PC, and this person was told we are no longer supplying Macs to employees. Now, on the one hand, I get it. It's fiscally responsible. Macs are more expensive. On the other hand, we're in education. I don't know the last time I went to a meeting and saw more than, or any sort of large gathering and saw more than one PC in the crowd. And what they're now saying, if the grapevine is to be believed, is that people who have been there for years, who have not touched a PC in 25 something years, are now, when they have to upgrade their machine, they're going to have to get a PC.
Oh no.
And as far as we know, I mean, given the fact that this is probably a reaction to financial realities at the institution, they're not going to provide any fucking training for these people who haven't touched a PC in 25 years and have no idea how to fucking use it. And so I just, that news really pissed me off the other day. I just don't understand.
I don't think I've ever at work used a Mac. So I don't understand anybody that can't. Like, what are you using a Mac for at work that you couldn't use a PC for? And
I have no idea, because I also haven't touched a PC with small exceptions in about 15 years. So
I mean,
when I have,
it's open Apple versus
a PC is an exceptionally frustrating experience for somebody who uses for somebody who's used nothing but Macs.
So we like Becky and I have Macs here at home, but we both work with PCs at work, and so.
And I think if that were the case,
and like I don't know why I see, so I don't understand the I don't understand how you could not touch a PC for that long.
Because you don't. Most of these people at the place where I work have one computer. It's the computer they have at work. We're talking about a lot of people heading towards retirement. Right? Like they've been there forever. They have one computer. They don't own a personal computer. They have their one computer, which is the computer from work, and it's a Mac, and it's always been a Mac. If they have a second computer, it's also a Mac in most cases. So these people who never touch PCs and now unilaterally and so to go to your point, if I were in the position that you and Becky are in, and I were using a PC on a regular basis, I think I'd be fine. I think I will be fine because I'm tech savvy, right?
Yeah,
although
you'll be fine,
although
Chris.
if it gets to that point,
control is like open Apple.
although I would say if it gets to that point for me, that would probably be what would make me quit the job. And it seems like such a petty fucking thing, but if you're gonna make me use a PC, I'm not going to work there. Like I don't have any interest in working anywhere that's going to force me to use a particular computer platform. So
you're going to not work anywhere then?
No, most places I have worked have offered the option of Mac or Windows.
I've never gotten the option at work.
Okay.
It's always been here's your PC or here's your laptop. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Thanks for providing me a thing to do work on.
I have gotten the option at every job I've had. And so it seems like a petty thing.
Have you gotten an option of having a good, a salary that you really want?
Way back when I first came out of college.
All right. Well, seek that out again, Chris.
I was at a series of .coms, and I made decent salary for a 22, 23-year-old and got stock options and all sorts of fun stuff. But, and then...
then the bubble burst, and then you had to go
a bunch of people
do something else.
Flew planes into the World Trade Center, and, it's... whatever.
That did not cause a stock market crash.
It did immediately precede me getting laid off from my last job that paid me what I was worth.
Okay.
So,
The stock market crash didn't happen until approximately 7 years later.
Yeah. No, but this was it dot 2 point whatever 2.0 web 2.0, I don't know. No, it was like web 1.0 or 1.5. It was in the period where like you could start a thing, it would get bought out by a big company, and all the people who were there at the beginning would make a decent chunk of change, and then they'd move on to the next thing where they'd be there, and they'd make a decent chunk of change, and the thing they made would get swallowed up by the big company and cease to exist. But at least you got fucking stock options out of it. I don't know. I hate our whole fucking country and capitalism and my life as a professional. So
all right,
I should probably stop talking. I just wanted to bring. I think I was really struck by.
But what I'm saying here, Chris, is being malleable, like as an employee,
yes,
is a benefit. And even if you end up finding something else and going to a place that will be like, let you use a Mac forever and ever until the end of time.
Yeah.
But when they ask the question, why are you leaving? Because I don't want to use a fucking PC anymore, is not a good reason.
Well, to be fair, it wouldn't get to that point because at this point I'm using my own personal laptop to do my work on, because my Mac at work is so slow and outdated. And I asked for them to upgrade it a couple of times in the last year, and now I know why they wouldn't. Because they were probably, I wasn't.
You could get an upgrade of a PC and then get a little bit of that experience, get your foot wet, and do your work on this one.
Let me say this: I don't want that experience, and I've decided what I do and I don't want out of my life. So the program that I use on the
you still got like 25 more years before you can retire. You do realize, Chris?
I get that, but I don't want to use Windows. I just don't. I don't want to deal with it. And here's a case in point. So the program that I use to start the art that I do is called Daz 3D. I then bring it into Photoshop, and of course Photoshop is cross-platform. Daz is cross-platform. The Daz has a rendering engine. So 3D software needs a rendering engine. The rendering engine is optimized for NVIDIA graphics cards. Apple and NVIDIA don't get along, so you can't get a Mac with an NVIDIA graphics card, which means that you're getting a suboptimal performance out of the program that I have invested a lot of time and energy and money into learning. I still don't care. My brother-in-law, I on a whim, I said to my brother-in-law, I said, can you price me out a PC? And I've looked at it a number of times, and I just like I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to switch back and forth. That's the other thing too, is that I like using my one machine for everything, because I have been in the position where I had to like make sure files transferred back and forth from things, and it's fucking bullshit. I don't want to deal with it. So.
Okay.
Also, I mean, the whole point, the whole argument is not moot, but like I can't imagine an industry that I'd want to work in. I mean, I don't think I'm qualified for anything outside of academia, and
that's really talking yourself up. Hopefully, don't if you ever don't put this podcast on your resume.
Don't put this. Well, I was gonna say don't put this particular episode, but yeah.
You would attach the fucking the MP4 file
like, hey,
to the fucking. Listen to this. I am nothing but confidence.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a reality that I've accepted for myself. That I, unless therapy starts to like really help me turn a corner at some point, I'm not going to be confident enough to go out into the job market at any point in the near future. So I better hope to fuck that
You do realize that this is the time. Like, don't wait, because once dipshit does something that crashes the stock market again for reals again.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to find anything.
Right. Well,
you might not be working anymore.
I don't.
And you need the cutthroat skills to be able to maybe find something.
I get that.
So find something now.
But why?
When you don't need that skill.
But why do I want to participate in a system that?
Because you have two children that you need to support.
And as I've probably alluded to, one of the primary benefits I get by staying where I am is a significantly reduced college tuition for those two children.
If they want to go there.
I don't care if they want to go there. They can go and get their undergrad there, and if they want to get something more than that, they can then take out the student loans to go get a master's degree. And also there's an agreement currently, unless the entire educational system collapses, between our institution and many other institutions. So even if they don't want to go there, they can also, as long as I am employed by this particular college or any college, I suppose.
So you just have to ride out another 15 years and hope that you don't get laid off.
Well, I mean, that could bring us to therapy corner if you want.
Let's do it.
No, I mean, I don't want to hog the whole show.
Oh, I'm down, Chris. Let's do it.
I went to therapy this week, and well, let me back up. So on Tuesday, let me back up even further. I just came out of one of the busiest months of my work year. Busy is like 3 or 4 months of my work year, because I support a low residency program where a lot of planning goes into...
They call it low res.
The low res program, where a lot of planning goes into this 9-day residency. There's 2 of them over the course of the year. So one in January and one in June. And the month or so leading up to that is bananas.
BANANAS?
Yes. And? No,
it's a song.
I know. I'm trying to get it stuck in my head, or get it in my head, not stuck. But so I came out of that. My 4th of July, I went into work for a couple of days. I got told by my boss and my coworker, they were like, "So are you going to take Wednesday off?" Because Wednesday,
the 3rd.
The 3rd. And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And they're like, "Take Wednesday off." And then they made a point later, because we'd all worked so hard the previous weeks. They're like, "And also, Wednesday should be comp time. Don't use it as, don't use your vacation or whatever. And the college had also said Friday is going to be holiday for, because Friday was the 5th. Friday's a holiday for the whole university. So basically I went in for 2 days after that really stressful time, and I was able to kind of unwind a little bit. But by the time the following week came around, I had
So yeah, like that Wednesday you woke up and you're like, I'm gonna hook up this PlayStation 4.
Did I do that on Wednesday?
Did you actually do it?
I did do it, but
Yeah!
I can't remember if I did it on when. I forget that we didn't record last week. I set it up on Wednesday. The girls have loved it. I've played it a little bit, but
they've been playing the Harry Potter game.
Yeah, the girls got super into Harry Potter, and I had to go out that night to GameStop
and get another controller.
Because they wanted to play. So they've been having a ball, and I've gotten down there when I can, but I hope to do more of that soon. And that was part of what I ended up doing on the following Tuesday after the long 4th of July weekend, is I went in and I reserved a room with a whiteboard, and I kind of threw up my brain onto the wall, and it was very therapeutic and helped me get organized. And
did you experience a catharsis?
At the very, very end. And that's what I wanted to talk about. So I, at the very, very end, I'd kind of outlined, all right, these are things I want to do. These are all of the things on my mind, and that's too many things. How do I want to organize them? It went through a series of things until finally I was like, I kind of need to leave soon, but let me write down the word anxiety and just like see what comes out. I was just kind of doing free association.
Was Steve like completely surrounding me?
Yeah. Steve, I was going to say little hearts. I was like, why would it be little hearts?
I don't know.
Because I'm seriously
was Adam there too? Adam and Steve?
Adam, Hart, Steve, all around the anxiety bubble. No, the first thing I wrote was... why am I telling you this?
Because we have nothing else to talk about.
No, but there was a point to me bringing it up, and I'm afraid if I don't remember what the fuck the point was of bringing it up, it's just going to sound stupid. Fuck, what were we talking about? Work. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I got it. I should have been looking at your face. I'm sure your face was kind of like, what?
Just go, Chris, before you forget again.
I forget a lot. I forgot my bag today.
That's fine. Just continue talking. Stop talking about the things you forgot, then talk about the things you remembered.
So I wrote down next to anxiety, repaying the debt. Repaying my family's investment in me. And I don't know why that, I said this in therapy the other day, I don't know why that came out, but that was my moment of catharsis. And then the second thing I wrote underneath it was running out of time. And so much of my life is driven by those two pieces of anxiety, and what the rest of it was. So anyway, I wrote that on the board, and that was my moment of catharsis, and that led me into therapy on Friday. And in therapy, I mentioned this, and we got through the whole session, and she was kind of having me, attack that idea in a couple of different ways. And at the end, she said she usually will give me some kind of, she doesn't call it homework, but I think of it as homework. And
which is good. Think of it as something negative.
Well, homework is not necessarily negative for me. I mean, academia.
Well, I would consider homework negative because I never wanted, if I'm learning, teach me in the fucking room. Don't make me learn it on my own, you fuck.
Okay. Well, I'm in academia. Homework is it's a useful metaphor for me. It's learning I'm doing it's self-directed learning I'm doing outside of.
If I'm paying you, you better fucking teach me.
Okay. So she wanted me to think about that phrase, and
I'm an active learner anyway. So if you're trying to teach me something, you have to sit down with me and show me how to do something.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind if you ever take my.
I'm not going to learn anymore. Fuck learning.
So she wanted me to think about, like, you know, if I have that thought during the week, what is causing that thought? What do I feel like I do owe people? What was their investment in me that I have to repay? But she also asked me to think, and this has been fucking me up for the last 48 hours or so, however long it's been, since Friday. She wanted me to ask, what have I been sacrificing? And that has been a very uncomfortable question to ask for me.
Why?
So,
For me?
Why
is it uncomfortable, Chris?
Because it feels like a really selfish question.
But without being selfish, like, and you know, this is coming from a libtard here. Without giving yourself some self-love, and I'm not talking about jacking it. Okay. Without giving yourself self-love, you're going to make yourself miserable, and therefore you're going to affect the people that you love the most with your fucking moroseness, or your fuck. So if you don't give yourself, is this exactly what your therapist said?
No, she wants me to figure that out for myself. So you're helping me cheat on my homework, I guess is.
Oh, okay.
To extend the metaphor. No, I mean, yes, she kind of says that, but you know, her job is to kind of get me to think that. Or to talk about it, you know, and to bring it into.
So yeah, like figuring out what you're sacrificing, and then maybe trying to alleviate some of that sacrifice to give yourself a little bit better well-being will affect everybody around you, right. And you won't be as miserable. You might still be miserable, but you won't be as miserable. So you can just be like, hey, look at me, I'm having a good time, I'm strutting along. Like when we were over. Ryan and Beth's for Memorial Day, like they're little guys tooling around now, and he has this little strut, little swagger to him when he's walking around. So
I like a little guy swagger.
So yeah, get yourself a little guy swagger.
Little guy swagger.
Like you don't have a care in the world. You're sitting around watching your dad and your mom and their friends playing bocce or cornhole in the backyard.
Oh, what an unfortunately named game.
Well, they call it bags down south.
Oh, okay. Where they live near the bags.
Or maybe they call it cornhole down south, and they call it bags in other places. Because I remember, I think they did call it cornhole when I lived down there.
Okay.
And they would have it at almost every bar that had an outdoor area. And so that's where I first became aware of this about 10 years ago, when the summer my oldest boy, Bill Jr., died. You know that carnival that comes through town every year? Well, this year it came through with a ride called the Mixer. It's a fucking Dead Milkmen song called Stuart. It's one of my favorite songs ever. Fucking look it up. Not you, the fucking audience.
No. I was trying to. I know I've heard it before, but I was trying to.
Now, Stuart!
You know, not to completely.
You think a kid like that is going to know?
Not to completely change the subject, but so I've been trying to keep track in various places of all of the movies that I want to watch at some point. And one place that I had done that in the past was an app called Letterboxd, because I use Goodreads to track the books that I've read and books I want to read, so they're all in one place. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go back to using Letterboxd because this would be
Letterboxd,
great.
Is that like when you have a dildo shaped like an A? Or is that like a Canadian dildo? A.
Letterboxd without the E.
Oh.
Yeah. But
nice box.
One of the things it will let you do, and I think this will be great material, or maybe I don't know if it'll be material for a show, but it'll be a great thing to keep track of, is it will let you create lists. And so one of the lists that I created is how, I don't remember if it's called, it's something to the effect of how has Chris never seen this? And so I've been adding things as I go along, because, you know, it's one of those apps that, like any app, doesn't want you to leave. So I went in there to sort of add some things from a list that I had on a piece of paper or whatever. And then I'm in there and it's like, oh, have you seen this or do you want to see this? And I was like, oh, I would like to see that. And I was like, oh, that's one that if I told Steve I'd never seen it, he would freak. So
just fucking do it. Like,
so that's I just wanted you like that's my.
I want to know what that one was.
I'm trying. Okay, let me see if I got letterboxed out. I don't know if it was a new one that you've never heard or if it was one. So it started off. I was like, oh, what are some of the ones that Steve has gone? What?
The last one was Silence of the Lambs.
Right. Let's see. I want my fucking lists. God,
it's my bed.
My bed. Okay. How has Chris never seen this? All right. What's on here so far? Groundhog Day. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I haven't seen that either.
Kill Bill Volume 2.
You should watch the first one, though.
Yes. I saw the first one in the theaters, and then I don't know, when did those come out?
It was in college, because I saw the second one with Leo and Brian.
Okay, so I feel like it was one of those things where the first one came out, and I wasn't as busy, and then the second one came out, and I was too busy. The Godfather, and
1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
Well, 3's garbage, but...
And Clockwork Orange.
And
yeah, I don't know.
You're not like big on Kubrick then.
Yeah. What was the one that you?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm
Can
gonna
you help me with this couch. James Gumb has the best accent in any movie ever.
I'm gonna. No, I didn't want. See, this is why I don't like this fucking app. I didn't watch it. I want you. Ugh.
Just you typed it in, right? Do it later.
I'll do it later.
Throw it over there. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. It's good. There's soft things over there. Soft things.
Like there aren't boobs over there.
No. I often and I should stop doing this, but but every time I try to stop, I can't.
You want to be an incel now? You want to not jerk?
No. Although I was reading something the other day about.
I heard that like if you don't jerk off, it backs up and messes up your brains.
Oh.
Yeah, all the cum goes like inside your body. Is
that why I'm so fucked up right now?
Yeah, have you not been coming?
Not in a little while.
All right, yeah, you maybe should get rid of that.
But my wife has.
Get rid of the poison.
I'm just gonna say. I took it.
As Opie used to say.
I recently, made sure that my wife's drought was ended, but sometimes timing.
Did you get Dongclaw?
I did not. No, I still have to buy Dongclaw tomorrow on Prime Day.
Don't buy it on Prime Day. Support the workers.
Oh, so I should buy it today?
Yes.
See, I don't. So
just pay a little extra.
They're going. Oh, okay. All right. So they're going on strike tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that was the plan.
Okay. I get it. I was like, why would it be okay to buy it today and not tomorrow? And now I get it. Okay. Because the money I'm saving should.
Yeah, so it's like when Stop and Shop is having a strike, you don't shop there when they're striking because they're fighting for something.
Yeah, I don't shop there anyway because they're overpriced. But
would you just go to Market Basket then?
Yeah. Well, or I let my mom or my wife do my grocery shopping. I have been thinking about what am I sacrificing?
You should go to Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. We went there a couple times.
It's comparable to Market Basket prices and it's a better company. Well, it's not that it's a better company. Market Basket's okay. As far as how they treat their workers, because when the whole thing happened a couple of years ago, the workers actually fought for the company.
Yeah, that was a big theme in our first year.
But yeah, at least as far as a corporation goes, because no corporation is good. If you've ever seen the documentary or read the book, The Corporation, you just the way a corporation operates is that of a sociopath. Because there was a big push to say corporation equals person.
Yes.
And if a person acted the way corporations act, they would be sociopaths.
Interesting. Are there particular? I mean, you've already kind of given me the Reader's Digest version. Are there particular things that they point to? Like, was there something in the movie?
Yeah, obviously, this is the extreme Cliff Notes version.
Well, yeah, but I guess what I'm saying, was there something in the movie in particular that made you sit up and take notice?
Yeah, it made me sit up, get an erection, get some of the poison out. It was perfect.
Who was on screen while you were getting the poison out?
It was a silhouette of a man dressed as a corporation with a devil tail.
Oh, okay. Well, did he have a mask?
His name was Adam, and I was all excited about it.
That would have been great. So like 5 minutes left though.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. So, there's a lot that I'm sacrificing. That's what I'm realizing. That's why it's such a hard fucking question to
write it all down. Do your fucking brainstorming.
I know, and I gotta bring
board.
it back to therapy, and she's gonna be like, so what do you think about this? And I was like, well, I don't know.
You got to do something about it, Chris, because you can't you know,
I mean,
on your
stop-
current you're on
I
a
can-
crash course because like earlier today you're like I'm super bummed out and stuff. So I'm like you gotta alter into a direction where you're like, hey, I'm not as fucking miserable. Hey, I'm actually happy. Or hey, I feel like so.
Right. Well, the biggest thing Stephanie and I talked about it in the car yesterday, and I talked about it a little bit in therapy, and if I didn't have this is like, what are you sacrificing for your family was basically what it's asking, and by extension it's asking if you didn't have your wife and kids. I mean, that's what's at the core of the question. It's like, if you didn't have your wife and kids, what would you be doing differently? Maybe that's not at the core of the question for you, but coming out of therapy, that was what it was at the core of the question for me. And one of the things was, well, I wouldn't have a regular job. Like, I would be full-time trying to figure out how to make my creative work because I wouldn't have the responsibilities of kids and paying my parents every month for us living there and the various bills and things like that.
You'd be living in a railroad apartment in New York City, trying to make it somewhere.
No, that isn't what I would, because I don't like New York and I don't like LA. I would be given.
But you'd think you'd live in Boston, like in the.
No, I'd live in some cheapo
motel.
No, the cheapest thing I could find with really good internet. That's what I would. That's where I would go.
I mean, like, considering there's two companies that provide internet.
Yes.
Like, so you're like, if you could get Verizon and or Comcast, where you're going.
As long as I could get basically the speed internet that I theoretically am supposed to get at my parents' house, then that would be fine. And room for a bed and like my needs. This comes out and it's hard to have this conversation with your wife, with your partner, because I'm always like it would be therapeutic for me to talk about this, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. But comes out, it's like, well,
maybe you talk about it with your therapist first, and then you figure out how to say so you don't hurt your wife's feelings.
No, but she's very understanding, and we
this is why it's beneficial to wait like 20 years to get married, because then you realize what your life would be like without like a family, and then you're like, wow, this is kind of like sad and lonely. So you kind of
Perhaps, yeah. No, I get that. No, but if you're asked to think about like what are you sacrificing, what would you do differently? Like, yeah, I'd live in some fucking hole in the wall and keep my expenses down and make a living doing what I love. And if I could go back,
and occasionally having to jerk somebody off for a little extra cash.
Well, if that's what it came to, I don't think I'd
came to.
If that's what it came to. Yeah. So I don't know. It would be nice to make more money, but I don't want that to be the primary driver in my yeah.
I mean, there's a good chance that whatever you're going to be doing is going to be a bummer in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So,
but what I do now is not a bummer in any way, shape, or form.
Like the admin job you have is not a bummer,
except for the money. No, I mean it's extraordinarily flexible. The people are great. I'm doing administration for programs and things I believe in. It's great. The money sucks.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to.
Well, maybe you just need to find that balance between like something you would be willing to tolerate and extra money.
Yeah. That would be, yeah, some extra money would be good.
I mean,
that's not even funny to
like my career has taken me on a path where I'm like, this is just, I'm doing this.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like,
right.
But am I inspired? No. Like, this is a paycheck. I like my colleagues. I'm doing this. But
and you've got the rest of your life that is like yours.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you go in, yeah. I mean, that I guess would be the other downside besides the paycheck, is because I'm doing work that I am invested in. As much as I might try to leave it at the office, it comes with me wherever I go.
There's times where I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta do that thing that I forgot to at work, or like whatever.
There are times, I imagine there's times like that for everybody.
But if that is a majority of my time, then I'm definitely doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, I just realized the other thing that sucked.
What?
Is the commute.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
You can find the show notes.
Well, at least the MBTA is charging more money for worse service.
It's lovely of them to. Are the workers at least getting paid?
I mean, like half of them, and I don't think the commuter rail staff, but like the regular staff is union, so I imagine they're fine. But
yeah.
At least they're extending the Green Line into Somerville, like, which everybody wanted.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/243. And if you'd like to email us about anything we've said or anything you'd like to say, remember, we're getting perilously close to, what was it that we were going to do?
250?
No. There was a threat. It was like, if we don't get an email in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do...
I don't even want to remind you, because I don't want to actually do it.
Oh, I know what it was. It was Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. And we were going to do...
Not a whole show.
Not a whole show, but a portion of the show in the voices of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. So if you don't want that, somebody out there better send us an email before the next episode.
All right. You got an extra week.
Hot@clarkwoods.com.
Hot@clarkwoods.com is the email.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far.
If you have, then I was going to say give us a Donald Duck, but
Nope.